In today's video, we're going to have a look at US indexes. We're also going to be looking at Bitcoin, Coca-Cola, and EU money supply coming in. Hello, and welcome to another ACY Securities Daily Report video. My name is Alistair Schultz, and I'm going to be your host through today's trading session. Now, having a look at the US indexes to get things kicked off, we have seen record highs breaking in a variety of different markets in the overnight session, but the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, and the Nasdaq have all hit new highs. So this year, 2020, can be the year of new highs on indexes because it just seems to keep repeating itself. Now, what's gone on behind the scenes is that we've seen an uptick in US jobless claims. Now, that's a sign that we are seeing the recovery start to stall out. And the reason that we've seen prices actually start to move up is because investors are starting to price in the idea that a stimulus package is coming. We've been wondering when we're going to be getting a stimulus deal. Negotiations have been ongoing, and we seem to keep getting collapses in those negotiations. Though what we're seeing now, we've had unemployment data tick up for a couple of weeks in a row. We've also seen a variety of other symptoms in the economy that are probably not healthy. Plus, we've got the looming idea of lockdown starting again, huge amounts of coronavirus cases on a daily basis, and we've had a little bit of negative data from Pfizer about the ability to transport and distribute the vaccine. So all of that really does help sort of put a bit of pressure on lawmakers to get a deal across the line. We've heard from Mitch McConnell to say he's going to keep people in Washington until they have an agreement. So we can probably safely say that there is likely to be a deal coming, and this is why we're seeing some of our markets rise at the moment. Now, moving on, the EU stimulus package was announced last night. Not so much in an announcement, but it's been approved. There are still some steps to go on this, and it will be some time before it comes out, but at this stage it's going to be 1.8 trillion euros, which works out to be about 2.2 trillion US dollars. It's all been approved. 1/3 of it, however, will be earmarked for climate spending, and the rollout's not going to be until very late in 2021. So there is still a little ways to go. We're not entirely certain on where the full distribution of this cash is going to lie, but that is going to be the next bet. You'll know that it'll probably end up going towards places in the form of coupons and commissions and whatever else might be going on from a government standpoint. So they'll be giving you certain levels of ability to get things that you need, not so much giving you cash directly in your hand. But we'll have to wait and see how that rolls out. Now, looking forward to some other things in the news today, Coca-Cola is going to be chopping jobs across the globe. Now, earlier in the year, they were talking about restructuring well before the pandemic to sort of target those areas of their business that actually are underperforming. Now, moving into the COVID situation, it's kind of acted as a catalyst for them. So they've decided to move ahead with some plans that they had slated for later in a little bit earlier. Now, right now, the efforts that they're doing are moving much of their products or the areas that have been affected by lockdowns in business. So therefore, things like bars, movie theaters, all those places where they're probably not getting too many sales now, but once upon a time would have been the strength of their sales. So, we're starting to get that shift happen now. Already in August, we saw 40% of the North American workforce cut. This time round, we're going to be seeing 2,200 jobs cut globally. So where they all are is anyone's guess right this very second, but we will be able to find out a little bit more details on it. The stock price has risen just fractionally, obviously with streamlining your services and getting all those sort of supply chain issues in order does improve the ability of a company to make sales, but this is obviously still got a lot of ways to go. They're going to have reduced spending because of job cuts, but we don't want to see anyone lose their job. Unfortunately, that's the way the world works at the moment. Now, looking forward at Bitcoin a little bit here, Bitcoin has reached past 23,000. I've got the figure here, the highest it's got to 23,743 and 76 cents in the US dollar mark. In Australia, it's nearly $30,000, about $29,000 off the top of my head. Now, looking at where it's gone, if we look at Bitcoin on a monthly chart, which I implore you to have a look at, it is quite a volatile pair or asset cryptocurrency. And that does give us a little bit of a concern because if you look at last time we saw prices skyrocket like this, we had 10% drops very, very quickly, and it isn't uncommon to see fluctuations of this nature to occur. Now, for those of you who might be wanting to jump in on this, I'm not a big crypto fan, but I can see the attractiveness. I understand why people might want to get involved in it. We're seeing institutions get heavily involved in it now for the first time in a long time. So, this is all positive news that there could be some level of push further coming. But I implore, I've got a little bit of a quote here on the screen that's from me. It is me, and I'm just going to read it out to you so you can get a bit of a gist on it. If you haven't been big in crypto before, don't crank your risk up or make any crazy changes to your portfolio. Now, be sensible about it, purely because it is volatile. It is one of those things that will move around, and it is likely to have a retracement of some kind, like we're already starting to see right now. If you want to get in crypto, good on you. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have an issue with is when people decide to put all their eggs in one basket and not think about the risk about it. And usually that's driven from the emotional side of things, and people tend to have a little bit of fear of missing out going on. There's always other trades. That doesn't have to be just this one. This is, you're not going to find one trade that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. Though you can have that happen, but ideally you don't want to be trying to jump in when the runs have already started to happen. But that's really all I have to say about Bitcoin today. I think it's phenomenal that it's getting this sort of traction. It's great that people are taking an interest in it, because it means that they're likely going to have further interest in trading in the future. So I applaud to anyone who has been able to get out of some money out of this one, or are still holding on their cryptos. Of course, take it into mind. If you're not familiar, you don't know those cryptos, learn about them, understand them before you decide to invest in them. And that applies for any asset class. Now, for the news ahead of today, we're going to be hearing from the Bank of Japan. They're going to be doing monetary policy and rate. We're also going to be hearing from the Russian central bank as well for the same things. Outside of that, we have German IFO business climate surveys letting us know when and where they might be thinking about the economy in general. And of course, Canadian retail sales much later in the session. And that's all I have for you today. If you do want to get in contact with me, please feel free to shoot me an email at talktoal@acy.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video so you can get more great content from me and ACY Securities in the future. Have a great trading day ahead.